Hello everyone, and welcome back to All the Mods 9. We are back, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good because we're playing. I'm not feeling good outside of things, but, you know, it is what it is. Game's a game, respect the hustle. Last episode, we discovered that in order to get our Nether stars, we need to bump up essentially our wasted radiation production. Whether that's using bees, or whether that's using fissile fuel. Now, I think fissile fuel's the play. I think we did a little bit of math, and it looked like in about 4 minutes, we would produce enough, like this guy can process enough stuff to give us an antimatter, which is apparently our unit of measurement now. Like an entire antimatter pellet, I should say. Now, at the moment, it's still, you know, it's doing its thing. It's getting us some stuff as it goes. Awesome. But we need to ramp up some things so that we can actually reach that level. And what I mean by that is, currently we're occasionally getting some stuff, right? We can bump this guy up to about 2 buckets per tick, but we have to be able to generate that much to even see if that's viable. Currently we're not. Currently we're not generating that much. Now, part of that reason is this guy over here, which is scaring me because I know that sulfuric acid is not a fun time. And I'm a little bit concerned as to why this guy's not really doing anything. Level look under. So it is these two guys here. So this guy has a recipe for hydrofluoric acid. Cool. This guy here also has a recipe for hydrofluoric acid. One of them involves 9 stuff going in. One of them involves only 1 stuff going in. Both of the devices are in fact online. We will double check the config below. In fact, better yet, we'll just copy this one and right click it there. So if it was going to work, it would. Is the concept, I guess. Output slurry from the bottom. Isn't that a slurry? Anyhow, let's change that recipe. Let's see if we can get it to work. Maybe for whatever reason, it's not happy putting that much stuff in. Sure, I'm not one to judge. Let's, I clicked the wrong button. Let's fix this. So, more specifically, if we do fluorite in a chemical dissolution, we get this recipe. This one's saying a bucket is created from 0.1. Interesting. I don't think that's what we had it as before. Is that true? 100 millibuckets gives you a bada bing, bada boom, my friend. Oh, hold on. Yeah. I saw the block recipe. We might, I'll tell you what, if we're waiting on this, we're going to be waiting on it, right? Does that make sense? So I say we just jump the gun and we do this big recipe. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, fluorite block. If I grab this fluorite out and we turn this into a block, what actual block do we get? We get this one. We get a Greg Tech block of fluorite. So let's change that around. I'm happy with the rest of what I'm reading, so I'm going to update that. I'm also going to open this guy up. Bada bing. And we're going to update him as well. So I'm just going to clear him. Going to chuck him in here. Apply it. Cool. I'm happy. I like what I see. Now, we don't have blocks. That's a problem. But it should be a solvable problem. Currently, we've got the stuff in here. We've got fluorite dust, I think, and fluorite. Or no fluorite dust at the moment, but in theory, fluorite in there. Honestly, we're probably just going to make a recipe for it because I'm not seeing an easier way to go about it, as silly as that might sound. Now, in terms of crafters hooked up to this system, I don't necessarily think we have any. Obviously, we've jumped around here, had a little bit of a look, but that's fine. We can just make some. So that's a molecular assembler. We get one of these guys hooked up, and then we just chuck a pattern provider on it. And that should be bada bing, bada boom, right? I'm so excited to get stuff going. Molecular. I was gonna do it. I've realized part of the issue, right? I want to do checking out base videos, but it itches a different part. You know what I mean? Like doing this, I love it. It's like I get to problem solve and do all that stuff. Doing the checking out base videos, I'm not allowed to build the stuff. You know what I mean? Like I want to build. I want to have fun today. And so that's why we're here. Now, what do I need? I need smart pipes, smart cables, whatever you want to call them. Break this. Now, this looks horrible. Who knows? We might fix it. Who knows? That will go there. Cool. That recipe will go there. So that's now doable. I can chuck in acceleration cards. I'm a happy camper. This is device online. Molecular assembler is also online. We're happy to see that. So, as a result, these are craftable. The problem is we don't have anywhere to put them. So what we're going to do is get a storage bus. We're going to essentially have to give it a spot to store this. You know what? Do we just get storage cells hooked up? I think we do. I think if we're going to do this, let's put a little, just a squidgen of effort into this and get stuff done properly. And by that I mean we've got 16k drives. Let's go ahead and beef these guys up. Oh my god, there's so many pages. Let's beef this guy up to a 64k. I'm happy about that. We've got all the recipe. The 64k. See, I kind of like, what's a super storage? And then what's a... So that's another storage. There's fluid disk. Because I think what I want... you know what? I'm actually happy with this. Yeah, cool. I think we just want normal, good old-fashioned storage components. And I think I'm happy with that. If we take this to the next tier, that becomes a mega storage. But that's a lot of effort to make that happen. Not a lot of effort, but more effort than I want to. You know what I mean? We could do this storage cell. This one looks a lot more achievable. It's just these plus that and you get that. I'm happy with that. That's a better looking recipe. Let's grab those. It looks like stuff that I don't have to do in order to make it. Beyond that, let's actually go ahead and turn this into a storage cell. Yep, I'm happy with that. I don't think I want to make it into a disk. A disk would allow me to store 1,000 items, I believe. Whereas a storage cell will store this a lot more than that. I don't remember how much. It's like 8 per, but then it's not 8 per, but then it's, for this one, it's probably like 100 per or so. Listen. All you need to know is that it's going to store a lot of stuff. Okay, that's all you need to know. I promise you that. Boom. So we'll order that. That is going to take, if my math is correct, a very long time. We can go and consult the setup. I know that we're on a roll today. I'm just constantly talking and doing stuff. I apologize if you were hoping for a bit of a slower experience. We might get there. But so what's happening? Well, for starters, we're not making any dust. That's good, because dust is annoying to make. What we are doing is processing stuff here. Nothing in that. 60 things in here. 50 things in it. Yeah, lots of stuff being processed. And these are all being done in good old-fashioned inscribers. Is that a problem? And is it a problem? I mean, it's not inherently a problem. It does mean we're going to have to wait a while to get the benefit of this. If we search inscribers and we right-click on it, there is an extended inscriber that we can make. And I believe it is better. We can hold G to open up the guide. It can run 4 jobs at a time. There's fun stuff that you can do. So I say we do it. I say we just do a quick little investment, you know. We head on back to the base. I'm trying to think of the best way to get there. I'm confused by everything I'm seeing. 1 second. You know what? I keep forgetting I'm small. That's sort of throwing me around for a loop. Do we have inscribers autocrafted? We do. Brilliant. Let's automate this part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this recipe. So they're still going to process the stuff, but it means that I can use some of the resources to make the inscribers instead of having to wait for everything to be done. You know what I mean? See how it's going to use all that stuff? So we do that. So we make use of the resources. Then we can, you know, reorder the thing once we've got everything done. I needed 5. So let's go ahead and order an extra one on top. That should be easily done. The only problem I could see would be that if this guy wasn't making the right thing, but he is. So I think we're good. In fact, he looks like he's staying on top of things. He's doing pretty well. Good on him. He's a soldier-on type of guy. Yeah, cool. So what do we have? We have 1 more being crafted. Cool, so we've got all 5. Now, what do I need to do with these? They have upgrades in them. They've got some stuff happening here. I'm going to ignore all of that, and we're just going to rip them apart. Okay, cool. Then we're going to place our cool guys like this. I don't know if they're facing the right way. We're going to chuck in acceleration cards, because that's the priority at the moment, of course. And then let's do potentially a test run. So for example, if we grab some... What do I need? If I were to put in this... Oh, yeah, they probably need power as well, right? Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so... It said inscription job number 1. Inscription job number 2. Oh, interesting. So you and... No. Oh, yeah, I've got to put stuff back in them. Ah, gar. So this guy's doing engineering circuit. So he will get whichever one that is. Cool. This guy's doing the... Oh, actually, hold on. Interesting. Automation can access any slot from any side. Input slots cannot be extracted from. Automation can access slots from specific sides. No. From any side. Input can't be extracted. Yeah, cool. I think that's fine. Auto export. Produced items will not be auto exported. I don't think that matters. Stack size. Stack to 1. Next inscription job. So I think I need these on each of them. You know what I mean? So then he can do all of them. So if I search engineer press, we don't have more, but I can craft more using a block of iron. And that might be the case for all of them. So if we go in here and we do block of iron, I should be able to get 8. That's pretty good. Do we have ingots auto craftable? Let's order like, I don't know, 10,000 of those. Cool. So I want to process, interesting. Yeah, I want to process 3 more of these. So we'll do that. That's working. And then if I search engineering press, we've got all 3 here. Brilliant. So we can change that back to 1. Move it across and chuck this stuff in. Next, next, next. Cool. Happy with that. And so now what happens? Now if I order engineering circuits, for example 10, what happens? Look at this. They each get some. And they're done. And that wasn't 10. Now I'm clicking some of the wrong things, but you get the idea. So I'm going to have to do that for all of these. So this one will be the logic press. So it'll get logic in there. And then I will place 3 in here. There we go. Brilliant. We'll go in here and search logic. And we should have 3. Perfect. Bada bing, bada boom. So that is what I will be doing for the rest of these guys. And we'll witness it at the end to sort of see the speeds. This guy's calculation. Boom. And then, of course, I need some more iron block action happening. That's fine. Plenty of stuff. All right, cool. So they're all set up. This guy's just a good old-fashioned guy. We're gonna really hope that he somehow still works properly. But that should be everything. So we can chuck this stuff back in. And now if I search for storage, we'll get our storage cell and I order it. It still needs to craft all the stuff, but we should see it happening a lot faster because it should be doing 4 jobs at once. So if we look at this, essentially our thing should be 4 times as fast. So this is at 56, 54, 52, 51, 50. Yeah, so it looks like it's doing 4 in a row. You see that? Now it's at 46. Boom. Now it's at 42. Pretty good? I think pretty good. I'll be honest, not necessarily as good as I expected. I thought that we were going to be upgrading these guys into some sort of absolute Goliath of a thing. Is there one that comes after this? No. So it's just this inscriber. Interesting. I wonder, because it might be called something else. If we search logic processor or whatever, we can actually have a look. Yeah, there's a forming press you can do from GregTech. Even still, I was expecting something different. In the past, there's been, I don't know what the mod's called. It's called like lazy AE2. And you can just put the raw ingredients in, so like redstone, silicon, and gold, without pressing it. And it will just spit out the stuff super fast. Now, each of these, we do have acceleration upgrades in. If we take one out, it looks like that's all it takes. I was going to see maybe it takes a different type of acceleration card. I don't even know if there's a different one that exists. But, you know, it's an idea. You never know, unless you look. So if we do @lazy, yeah, there's no lazy mod in here, sadly. But even still, I'd say pretty good. Now, there could be a benefit from allowing stack. What stack would do is it would mean that you could put 64 into one of these slots. Now, the problem that I imagine happens is one of these inscription jobs gets 64 and the other one doesn't. And the other 3 slots are sitting there doing nothing. Unless you order 4 stacks worth of stuff at once. So I think we're best leaving it as it is. I think that's fine. I think we'll all be happy campers as a result. And I think it might even be done. It's not, but you know, it's a thought that I could have. What are we actually doing? Okay, we are still craft. Oh, it's this guy now. Oh, sorry. It's this guy now. Now this guy, yeah, I mean, look at all the jobs. He's getting the stuff. He is doing it. Cool. Yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of work to do, just by nature of who he is, but Once again, he's mowing through it. So the benefit of the reason why we're doing that instead of doing a storage thing is because we can. Quite frankly, it's just because we can. Okay, I thought it would be fun, and I feel like it is. And so we're just going to set one up in here instead of doing these things. So let's jump in here. Let's go ME drive. Yep. ME extender drive. Does this just hold more stuff? Let's have a look. Larger cell inventory can hold 20. Well, we don't need that, so we'll just go with good old-fashioned ME drive. This guy, I mean, ideally we have him somewhere up here. I don't know if he's going to be happy about that, but network booting, device online. I'm happy to hear it. If we search storage, this guy's surely just around the corner. Oh yeah, we're currently just waiting on this stuff, the Certus quartz, to be ground up. Now, how do we think we're doing that? It's probably worth looking, maybe. I don't know if it is worth looking, but how are we currently doing that? Is that happening in one of these? It is. So yeah, this guy, once again, he's doing it 4 times as fast. Now, if we consult that recipe, as in if we look at Certus quartz dust as a thing, inscriber, we could crush it. Crushing it probably would be the play. If we look in here, it looks like it needs about a stack or 2. So if we do Certus, let's just grab a couple stacks. Let me just zip over here. Close your eyes. All right, open them again. I should just be able to chuck them down here and get all them processed. And they'll still go back into the system as per imported, which means that'll count towards this. So as you can see, yeah, it's just crafting. The other stuff still might get ordered, possibly, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine. We're all good. Game's the game. Game's the game. All right, so let's zip back over here. Zip, zop, zoobity zop. Perfect. Go through the entrance that is nowhere near where we need to be. Perfect. And, oh, if I can spell, we have our storage cell. We chuck it in here, and instantly it should get some stuff. Now, it hasn't, which is concerning, but it should, because it should be able to order the good stuff, to be able to place it in here. It's possible, I will say, it's possible a number of things need to happen. You know what? No. It's possible we just need to restart the recipe, because I think it's still wanting to use the old. See, it's still trying to use fluorite. Let's cancel that. Let's cancel that. And that one's already cancelled. So none of them are doing anything. Cool. Fine by me. We can open this up. We can click fissile fuel. And I should be able to order, was it 1,000 or 10,000? I think it's 10,000 that we were aiming for. Says we can. It says it's going to craft fluorite blocks. I'm happy with that. So I order that. These guys aren't running at the moment, but we're apparently processing some more stuff. Okay. For reference, last episode, we set up a bunch of chemical oxidizers. They're ready to go. We also set up 4 more of these guys down here. So they are doing their thing. I might have ordered a lot more than I expected to or meant to. A combination of both. But that's fine. That's okay, I think. Yeah. So we might need to do a lot more of these than originally I had planned. What are we looking at? We're looking at... So this is how much we're crafting. This is how much is available and how much is scheduled. So we want 10,000. Oh, okay. So currently sitting in the system is about 6,000. As in spread across all of those enriching factories or whatever they are. We've got 3,000 that it's made so far. And we've got 9,000 still left to be placed in the system. It is going pretty fast. You know, credit where credit's due. But yeah. Alright, now there is also another solution to this, right? So, we need nether stars, right? That's what we're working towards. Currently, the approach we are doing is this guy over here. He will be making antimatter. Antimatter will be going in here, converting 16 at a time. Each time this guy processes, we get 16 nether stars. Pretty good. Pretty good. On the flip side, we need a giant system to get that right? That took a lot of effort. On the flip side, we do have this guy. This guy spits out a bunch of withers. Each wither you see dies. And it gets us nether stars. Now, where am I going with this? I'm not completely certain. But I mean, like, we could just spam this. You know what I mean? Like, it's doable. I could streamline the process. This is pretty streamlined, to be fair, but, you know, there's probably a way to make it even better. Oh, I had a horrific idea just then. I don't know if I want to share it because I won't be able to stop myself from doing it. What we could do, right, is we could place a builder that builds the thing. You know what I mean? Even if we needed like 5 builders to pull it off or something, or 10 builders, and we just fill them with soul sand, they place it all, and then we have one builder that just places the heads on it, because it could do it like it doesn't need to be in the room with it. You know what I mean? Interesting. And they can run fast. I mean, I have to try it, don't I? I think I do. I genuinely think I do. It's too much fun. It's far too much fun. So we're gonna add the recipe for the builder, just so we can, get this guy happening a little bit easier. I don't know the easiest way to do it. So I'm just gonna order a bunch of builders and hope that we figure it out on the way. We are going to need shape cards. Shape cards are probably recipe worthy as well. Shape card, just normal. We don't need it to do anything too crazy. Bricks, please. Thank you. Boom, chuck them in. Shape card, awesome. Let's get 10 of those cooking as well. Once again, we don't need this many, but if we do, we've got them. So I'm thinking the simplest way that I can see to do it. You know what? No, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Interesting. So, what if I try to set it up here? Is that a horrible idea? It's possibly a horrible idea. So let's go in here. Let's go ahead and do that. So now it's stopped. Awesome! Hopefully it doesn't start up again. We'll wait for these guys to finish up. Then we'll set up our system in here. I'm going to clear a little bit of grass over here. I know we're still small. I apologize. We're going to place 1, 2, 3 builders. The first build... Because I'm too close. I don't really know what to make of this. Come on. He's kind of stuck in the wall, isn't he? I think he got exploded up by like the previous guy. Anyhow, we'll pretend that that's okay. So the first shape will go there. I do need to go in here. Hello? You know, let's just go up. Oh, I can't even go up there to get him. Okay. Well, either way, that's fine. So, what do I want to do? I'm going to have to build a wither. Like so. Right? Oh. Hopefully none of these explosions break anything. Did I select the thing? Yep, select first corner. So, for example, we're going to do this and this. So, this is going to be the first quarry. He's going to get that. Not quarry, builder. Next, we shift right click this guy. He's going to build from here to here. I'm hoping that I'm not accidentally right clicking tinted glass or anything. I guess we'll find out sooner rather than later. And then this last guy, he's obviously going to be placing the skull. I don't know if this will work. I don't know if it'll trigger it to actually build, but I guess we're about to find out. And he will do so there. Awesome. So then we pick this guy up. Awesome. Love to see it. Place the tinted glass back and he can go in there. Okay, so let's grab some chests. Brilliant. Let's get some soul sand. 2 stacks sound good. And let's get some wither skulls. 1 stack sounds brilliant. So, boom, boom, pow. Soul sand, soul sand. We also would like to power. You know what? Just because we might want to redstone control these guys. Let's go power. Now, these guys are on to activate. So, we will grab our lever and flick him on. And as you can see, he builds. Now, the bottom one's missed. I'm not sure why particularly, but that's fine. We also want to say keep running. Keep running. So that way, they'll just keep trying to place the stuff. Cool. Now, obviously, this guy just didn't really work well, so we'll try him again. Shift right click. Cool. Let's jump under here. Yep. Brilliant. Let's place this guy. Oh, let's place this guy. There we go. So we want to say you and you. Cool. And he should be happy about that. He should have already placed though. Oh, no. I guess not. I'm confused by what I'm seeing, but we'll pretend it's okay. So if I place you in there. Oh, my bad. It's because that lever doesn't apply to the other ones. I think if I place the lever on it, that would work. But either way, I'm happy with this. So if I flick this and this, we have the shape of a wither. If I then flick this, we do not get the skull placed. It is set up to keep running. It now has skulls in there. I forgot every single component. And yet we still do not have. Keep running. If I click this, does that change anything? You would think so, and yet it has not. Interesting. Keep running. Entities are moved. Wonder what that would do. That sounds like a disaster, so we'll leave it as not. Okay. So that did not work. How else do we place stuff in there rapidly? I have an idea. So the builder doesn't work for the head. That's okay. Let's try a modular router. We just want to be able to place it from a distance, you know what I mean? So we'll go placer. Now the problem with the placer module is he just places in front of him, I believe, which we don't want. Now if I press U on him, we get the extruder. He sort of does sort of what we want, sort of. But even so, I don't necessarily think he does. We do have some extruders. Template blocks. Extend with a signal template blocks. Interesting. Let's remove that. We want it to do it from the front, whatever. We want it to be wither skulls. Right? I don't really know. Template. Place copies of the block. Cool. Increase stack with a right click. Interesting. Not entirely certain how that's meant to work, but that's fine. Place this here. Let's actually go ahead and set it from the back, I guess. Chuck that in there and chuck this in here. Doesn't look like it's worked. I don't know. I mean, honestly, the fact that the builders didn't work makes me not want to bother trying. You know what it could be as well? It could be a claiming issue. As in, I might need to do something within my, like, allyship. You know what I mean? We've got allow fake players on. Allow all fake players is on. So I don't see that being a problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. It shouldn't be a problem. Right? And if I unclaim it, then we've got withers that can potentially explode. But I guess it's still worth trying. Why not? So it already has the shape card in him. Awesome. He's currently... I don't know if this worked because, as you can see, he's not even really selected anything. So it's possible I've still just not done this right. Let's give it another attempt. Let's jump under here. Place this guy. Let's go ahead and shift right click here. Cleared area selection mode. Let's shift right click again. All right. Let's hop in here. So, boom, boom. Cool. So now the setting is set to, it's an actual location. We chuck that in there. Cool. We'll be able to place that down later if we need to. Place this. Place that. Redstone. Lever. Now I've got dirt there. Well, he did it, I guess. What's our take on this? How does this make us feel? How does this make us feel? Is the question. Do we care enough to keep trying, or do we just let bygones be bygones? I'll be honest, I think we just let bygones be bygones. We go, darn, I wish that worked, but it didn't. We break that, we break this, we replace this, and we just turn this. I'm not too sure why this guy's not going down. I think it's because I'm near, so he'll probably disappear later, but I think it was worth the try. I'm glad we did try. It'll put that mystery to bed. I'm sure one of you guys have a much better way to set that up, so I apologize that I've missed whatever that is, but it's okay. Now, yeah, it is an option, still, to make a bunch of those. I'm aware. We're not going to, because I don't want to. That sounds more boring to me than building a trillion of these for whatever reason. And these are done, which is good. So now we're oxidizing, which means if we jump down here, all of these guys... Actually, they're not oxidizing. Did I end up setting the recipes? Well, regardless, we're fissile fueling. So, what's happening? I feel like that's not working. Yellow cake uranium should be making uranium oxide. And although it is up here, it is not down there. So in there, cool. Sure, awesome. Sounds wonderful. But then in here, it is not. Yellow cake uranium should be exported there. Because this needs to be a pattern. Needs to be a pattern. And then where all... What's that going? These are then getting extracted. They're going to go into... Oh no, that's the gas gets extracted. Yeah, okay, cool. So we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Ah, can we do this? I don't actually know if we can do this. Let's pick this up. Let's pattern provide. Let's get the recipe. Let me get the recipe. I'm gonna lose my mind. Alright, here. Recipe. No. Yellow cake uranium. Cool, recipe. So if I just place this recipe as it is in here, what is the result that we are left with? Some of these occasionally will turn on. Cool. That's obviously not good enough. So what we would like to do is get out of this hole. And we want to edit this recipe. We would like to say, we already did this. We want to say 4 equals 1. Then we want to say, like 40 equals 10, right? That's what we want to do. We want to say that. We want to chuck it in there. And then we want everything to work. Now the problem is that it won't work. But it could. Now, the reason it doesn't work is for obvious not working reasons. But let me show you. The reason is just because I need to cancel this and order it again. That's all that has to change. So if we go in here, well, first of all, if we wait until everything's done, cool. Then we're not going to waste any resources. Jump in here. I would like 10,000. We attempt to order it. It's going to have to process some more stuff. Only 1,000 stuff. So that's fine. And we've got plenty of sulfuric acid apparently. So this seems like a win to me. We click start. And we just hope that it uses the right recipe. So it's going to have to process this stuff again. Shouldn't take nearly as long. Once again, we can consult this guy and say, okay, we now have everything in the machines. So nothing extra will be going into here. Cool. It's still doing one at a time in those. Have any come down here? Why is this part not happening? Do we know? In fact, why wasn't that extract yet? Because it's not stored. It's not stored in here. No, but it should be. It is now. Hold on. Hold on. Let's remove this. Place this. Go in here. Yellow cake. Yellow cake. Uranium. Chuck that in there with acceleration cards. Export the first items, then try the next ones. This should be doing it. Device is online. There's a chest available. Export yellow cake uranium. If I were to open my system, there's no yellow cake uranium available. If I were to cancel this, there is now yellow cake uranium available. The yellow cake uranium is now being extracted, which is allowing all of this to work. Cool. Is there an easier way to go about this and have it actually use it? Probably. Do I know what it is? No, not at all. I have no idea how to get it to use this without just removing the recipes from the rest of the stuff. And honestly, that's probably just the play. Yeah, hold on. Let's go back up. Let me just go back up. Yep, perfect. And let's remove these guys from being able to do their thing. Perfect. Cool. So you come here. You come here. You come here. Awesome. Perfect. So they're not going to work. I might as well just leave it at the moment and just let this process. But in the future, if I replace that with a pattern grid, it should work. In fact, what I can do is remove this, place the pattern grid, place in the recipe for 40, And then we can just wait. We can wait until this all runs out. Then start the recipe up. It's already got some of the stuff made. Should be good. As you can see though, an important thing to note, this is not enough. This needs to be more, which is a bit ridiculous, but I guess it makes sense and I guess it's fine and I guess we're going to do more. So let's go in here, search oxidizers. We have a decent amount. Let's get like 30 more cooking up. Make sure we got plenty. And we'll hook them up. And that should be pretty good. So what do we need? We need these all down here. Boom, boom, boom. So far, we haven't had to worry about the gases, which means these don't actually need any upgrades, which makes it really nice. We do, however, need these guys to run through there. So let's go ahead and tear that up. Boom, boom. Cool. And these will only have 2 imports, or 2 exports, sorry. Let me put those away. That should be fine. Cool. So, for example, we can chuck these down. We don't have to worry about hooking them up or, you know, right-clicking with the wrenches, which is an annoying thing to do. So, that's a positive. Then we just place oxidizers. We've got the configuration card. We do have upgrades in our system. We have a decent amount. I think they're maintained in the system. I'm not certain, but we've got plenty regardless. So that should be good. Let's search oxidizers. These don't stack, of course. And let's get placing. Alrighty, so we'll select this. We'll come up here. As you can see, these ones are all empty at the top, which means these ones aren't, which means if I right-click them, they still won't be, but they'll at least be configured correctly. And we can set these pipes to extract later. These ones we have to configure differently because they're facing different directions. So we'll select one of these first ones we placed. And you can sort of see the power as well. So these ones are at 320,000. These ones are just at 32. So we can right click from this on. That's how we know we've placed new ones versus old ones. We don't want any slackers in the business. Boom. Next up, we grab energy and speed and we go at it. So you can just hold right click and go along. Just watch out when you get to the last one. There we go. Because it obviously replenishes your hand. Cool. We want to do it. Cool. So they're all set up. Obviously, just these to set up as well, but that's as simple as doing this, apparently. No pipe upgrades needed. But once again, if the pipe upgrades are needed, I think this is a lot nicer than doing it underneath. And on top of that, we can just switch the pipes out if we really need to. This guy doesn't really work because they're not hooked up like that at all. So that's a little bit awkward, but nevertheless. Like, we were trying to put power in the system, but these are all extracting. Anyhow. So yeah, this guy is getting the cool stuff, which is good. He's getting extracted whenever he can, which is awesome. These guys appear to all be done, which is brilliant. So I think we can give it another attempt, shall we? So if we check this, nothing happening there. Cool. Open this guy, click this, order 10,000. Now it's going to order some more stuff. Only 120 need to go process this time, which is fine. But it should also process all the uranium as well. So if we jump down under here and we check this guy out, it looks like he was working. Oh, but you know what? He might not need to. He might have already had all the stuff made. That might be what we're witnessing. It's not, but I think... I don't actually know. I'll be honest with you. Not a clue. I don't know. Oh, you know what it is? I do actually know what it is. I figured it out. It's because the fluids aren't going into the pattern provider. They're going into this. And we can solve that, I think. So, for starters, let's go ahead and cancel this recipe. Brilliant. And let's see if we can solve it. So, the first inkling I have is just to move these, pick this up, pick that up, make this into a full block, boom, chuck that in, awesome. And then I think if I just use a pipe, that should just do the trick as well. I think. Possibly. This one, we probably will do a pipe upgrade. We want this guy to be on his A game. Obviously, we want the gas to go in there. Sweet. Let's give it an attempt. Let's have a look. This also means that we probably could have kept everything the same as it was before. Just for reference there. 10,000 is going to process a couple more. That's fine. But now that the gas is actually going back into the system, it doesn't really seem to care, does it? Why is that? Have I calculated it wrong and it's not getting back what it is expecting? Is that potentially the problem? It very well could be. These guys, by the way, are set to do round robin. Obviously, the item should have shown up to begin with. Oh, here we go. Now, we are seeing a slight problem whereby, because I think one side's just taking it all. So I think the better approach here, as nice as this looked, is to break that, break this, and just chuck a pipe here and just disconnect that as well. And now that should equally distribute it amongst every single pipe. Every single place, possibly. Possibly? Yeah. Everywhere should be, should receive stuff now. If there's stuff to receive. Now, keeping in mind, 40 are coming out. Every time. And it looks like that's all they're doing. So it's going to put 40 out and then wait for the 40 to come back, which... No, I didn't even know. I take that back, actually, because... Regardless, as you can see, it's splitting them up very nicely. Why is it doing it like that, though? That seems very inefficient, doesn't it? Is it only doing it as it needs it? Is that the problem? Uranium hexafluoride, where's that? That's in here. Uranium oxide is obviously what it's after. Huh. How's this guy going? Does he... What does he take? Monthly upgrades? Yeah. Very, very interesting. I don't know. It processes it, and then it processes it. You can see it's crafting. Sure. And then it's done crafting, and then I guess it's waiting and doing another upgrade. Can I put speed upgrades in something that I'm missing? Is there... Is it... Can this guy take speed upgrades? He can take an induction card. Don't really know how that benefits us. Lock crafting, never ignore the contents. I mean, it all sounds good from my boat. I might just up the recipe. I think we just up the recipe. I think we just, at the very least, overkill it. And I think that's going to help us out. Or at least that's my current idea. So we'll chuck this in here. Let's go ahead and add a 0. So we're putting in 400. And add a 0 there so we get 100 buckets back. That seems pretty good, right? Chuck 400 in. Wait until they're done. Does this guy have anything left? No. Cool. Okay. We'll give this a shot. I still feel like I'm not doing it as well as I should be, but... Listen, if it works, it works. Gonna process a couple more, that's still fine. Happy with that. And then it should get started. Alright, we'll leave that for now. We'll come back. Realistically, how it does it, I'm not necessarily fussed, as long as it does it. That's obviously the main part. This guy here, he doesn't have an overflow of fissile fuel, so we don't really have to care about him too much. This guy over here is getting a pretty decent amount of polonium. Almost a steady supply. It's still not the greatest. But that means we're getting a bunch of nether stars. Now, if we search nether stars, we've still only got about 2,500. That's because it's constantly being turned into those blocks we need. It's quite rough. It honestly is. Is there any other way to get nether stars? There are seeds, as in star shards, that sort of thing. So we could just make some seeds, farm it. It's an option. It's on the table. We might do it, depending on how rough this goes. But I'm kind of enjoying... I do enjoy Mechanism, so I am having fun doing it. There's some implosion stuff. Loot fabricator, weather prediction. Not a bad idea. Is a bad idea. 1 for 1. That's going to take so long. This thing's... This is the play. This is just the play. It's just how it is. Yeah. Now, one thing I will check is creative. Now... As you saw, antimatter can go into a chemical tank. Creative chemical tank for plutonium infinite. Now, I'm pretty sure you might be able to do other things. For example, polonium infinite. Now, I would need a star forge, which is well above our pay grade at the moment. But that would do it. That would solve our problem. Chuck in just 1,000 pallets. A little bit. We just need a great star as well. Walk in the park. And then we would have creative stuff, which is fun. Now, where does that leave us? Yeah, not really anywhere, does it? No, there's no... I don't think there's any cheatsy way to get around this, sadly. And it is sad. It is very sad. Okay. Nevertheless, this is... It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Now, even still, we're making Fizzle feel pretty decently. This guy, I mean, he's getting stuff. But we don't have an overflow, right? Which means there's room to go. We need an overflow. Now, this stuff is processing. It looks like it's actually kicked into gear, which is brilliant. We've got lots of stuff happening. This might just be the 400 trying to find its way in there. But it's processing. Now, as you can tell, it's still kind of just not processing fast enough. I don't know how much more of this we would need before it becomes a problem. You know what I mean? No. We're getting them pretty decently. You know, credit where credit's due. Our wasted combs aren't exactly much better. This looks beautiful. I love the idea of this. 24 productivity upgrades. Guys, let me know, how difficult is it to get to this point? How difficult is it to get an Apiary Mark III, or Mark II, sorry, and put this together? Specifically this. How difficult? What are we talking? Like, genuinely, what are we talking? Would I go for... I'd probably go for your first EV. So I'd go for microprocessors, right? Then we just need some black steel cable and some stable titanium machine casing, right? You get that from titanium plates and frames. Not a problem. Not a problem. Titanium plates, I hear you say. You get those from titanium ingots, of course. Titanium ingots, I hear you say. You get them from doing the thing with the stuff. You get hot titanium. Hot titanium from titanium trifluoride, which you get from that word and that. Obviously, you get this stuff from the ore. Duh. You get a little bit of this stuff. You then do a little bit of you get one of these. But in order to get one of those, just real quick before you get started, you very quickly get one of these, which you get from one of those. Am I in a loop? Have I? Look, I'll be honest, it doesn't look doable. It doesn't look doable in this lifetime, but potentially the next. Is there anything in here that we could benefit from? Jetpack, spellbook, pressure, spellbook, jetpack. I think this is enough to make the Greg start. Oh my god. Would Greg be proud? I bloody well hope so. Creative source. Creative virtual storage power. So that's like a, yeah, controller. Creative power. I feel like we're on the verge of greatness. But we're just not quite there yet. Are we missing something helpful in terms of... Hold on. There's a thing in here that talks about the stars, right? Yeah, nether stars. You didn't hear from me, but there are some interesting ways to make inert nether stars which can be turned... Yeah, okay. So that is the play. But it's not... It's still rough, man. Where's mechanism? Mechanism advanced. Antimatter. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. So these guys, they're still not caught up. Oh, you know what? They actually are. They're catching up. So these guys, to be fair, I don't think that's them done, the recipe. That's them done part 1, right? Which is the first. Oh, actually, no, it actually is pretty much the recipe done. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that did not take nearly as long as I thought it would. You know what I mean? I thought that was going to take a lot longer than it has. Interesting. We've got all the uranium oxide that we need. So now it's purely just making the block of fluoride stuff, which is going in here. Which should be going there. I guess maybe it's doing this thing as well. This guy just needs uranium oxide. This guy, he needs a bigger recipe. That's what... All I'm witnessing here is downtime. Downtime that can be solved with some of this. Boom. So we're going to chuck this in here. And guess what? 10 buckets. 10 buckets gives you 20 buckets. And I think that will still go in there. Now, the recipes aren't going to be happy with me that I did that. Is it going to start back up? No. That's okay. We're going to cancel that. We're just going to order it again. It's fine. The more the merrier, right? There's no real downside to doing this except for we have to watch everything craft again. Which is it's a decent downside. But, like, it needs to be done, right? So that guy should now get a lot more stuff happening. Which you like to see. He's got all the speed upgrades. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. This guy's not getting more stuff. That's 1,600 stored in the system, which I like. This guy down here is getting stuff. I guess he's only getting it as it's made up there, yeah. Oh, there's a lot to take in, isn't there? Now, keep in mind, we are 2 stars away. 2 stars! That's all we need is 2 stars. Over here, we have the star. Now, we're pretty close to being able to make the second last star, which is pretty cool. We need 3 more blocks. Nice. That'll happen. Let's consult this guy, see what the problem is. This guy is... That's the improbability device. This guy is the Nexium emitter, isn't he? From memory. Yeah. What's your problem? Your problem is antimatter. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a decent problem to have in this economy. That's a bloody good problem, isn't it? Okay. Interesting. How does that make us feel? I don't know. Also, this is running relatively steady. And we're good on Steam. I think I can up this to 1920. Now, it's going to... Okay, let's scram it. That does damage. We do not want that to happen. Let's do it at 1,000. Any damage? Bad damage. Okay. No, 0 damage? Good damage. Still damage. Still damage. Okay, let's... See, this is a problem. What do we do? 800. Because we're not going to be able to reach the level that we want to, right? We're not going to be able to reach... That's still a problem. Come on, man. Oh, hold on. Still a problem. I was like, maybe there's not enough water. No, it's still a problem. Really? So 500 was like the sweet spot? That's disappointing. It's still, you know, it'll still be fine, but it's just a little bit annoying. Yeah. Okay. What are we thinking? What are our thoughts currently? I don't know. I don't know. I'll be honest, with our production rate as it currently is, we probably could weather out the storm. You know what I mean? Just let the production happen. Let the nether stars flow in with what we have. And we'll have it. We'll have it. It's about 6,000 nether stars for one of those blocks. So it would take probably a couple episodes to get the stuff. So that's an option. It's on the table. Alternatively, we process this. We're processing 600 millibuckets per tick. That is going in here at 60 millibucket per tick. Which is, you know, it's nice. I won't say it's not. And that will go in here. And it will process, as you can see. Very interesting. Yeah. So we're getting 16, not a tick, but, you know, almost 16 a second. Which one's, like, it's not bad. Like, look, we're already at 1.6. That's pretty good. That's like a third away to the, to a block. And I think that's cool. Now, polonium. Is there a way to get my hands on polonium? There is a polonium B. What does your thing do? Your thing makes polonium from ChemLab. That stuff is pretty much useless to me. Polonium dust? Like, first of all, if there's no way for it to show up as a pallet, then there's no point me chasing down that other stuff. Polonium plus fluorite dust gives you the pallet, so that doesn't help. The pallet can be turned into nothing. I mean, it can make a wasted radioactive B. Oh, that's cool. You're right, so they don't have to die from the radiation. That's cool. It's 5% chance, but very cool. I like that. Oh, this is so annoying. Yeah. What are you guys thinking? Do you guys have any little secret plans on how to get this to work better than we currently have it? See, because if I push this further, what we're going to end up with is a second reactor. And that will only get us to 1,000 millibuckets per tick, roughly. That's assuming the production's built up. That's going to double. If I put in all that effort to... I still need more production currently, so I'd have to pretty much double everything we have now. Which, you know, I could do. Double that. Then we would get enough stuff to have a steady supply. Or I do the honeycombs. Now, for reference here, what's the reference? Polonium is made out of a 10-to-1, right? So what does that mean, I hear you asking? Well, currently we're producing 600 millibuckets of the stuff, right? Because it's a 1-to-1 for the waste, and then it's turning into 60 millibuckets in there. So we're making 600 millibuckets of waste. If I get this stuff, in order for me to get 600 millibuckets, it's like 1 1/3 of these guys. 1.5, sorry. 1.5 wasted radioactive combs. Now, we get about a stack every time this processes, but it takes a long time to process, right? And I don't know, it feels like there's a bit of randomness to it. So, what is our takeaway from that? This now suddenly sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Because I just bumped up my production so much just to get 600 millibuckets. One of these gives us so much. If I invest in antimatter pellets, I think that is the play. We've at least got a steady supply to make antimatter pellets, so it wasn't a complete throw, us doing whatever it was that we did. But we can dismantle that, tell this guy, hey, I'll tell you what, let in some antimatter. And it can start flowing in here. And we can start getting some pellets. We can start setting up some more bees. And I think that'll be pretty good. I think that's also occasionally why when we look in here, the number's a lot higher than 600. I think it's because we've got some combs coming along and they're getting processed. I think that's genuinely what tends to be happening. Now, a few things to make note of. First is, those guys, those radioactive bees, they are in the beyond. This dimension, there's a chance I have to come in here in order for these to start working. Just altogether. The reason I say that is because it seems to be inconsistent in terms of when I went to not the beyond, sorry, the other. But when I went to the beyond, so the floating island place, for whatever reason that place doesn't seem to connect to my refined storage unless I remove it and replace it, sort of thing, and like go there. So I'm wondering if there's a similar thing happening in here. Now we've got our upgrades. There doesn't appear to be a better version of it. We checked that previously. We've got the bees in here. They're very high productivity. They only work during the day, but it's always day. And we've got 4 of them around one of these guys. So we've got a pretty decent amount of production here. Let me know, because I don't know, whether we can place them below here as well. You know what I mean? If I place a hive here, will it share the antimatter? I could test that. And I probably should. Let's test it. We don't have to invest a crazy amount of resources into this, but we can, at the very least, set it up so that it works. Or so that, like, if it does work, we'll find out. And that is probably a pretty good play. So wasted radioactive, let's grab 5 of those. Let's make sure that I actually put wasted radioactives in these guys. I think we did, but you never know. So that guy's facing there. Hold on. Yep, it is facing the right way. I just wanted to make sure. Cool. Break this. Place this. Awesome. Omega and those. What do you guys think? I honestly don't know, but I guess next episode we'll find out. That sounds pretty good. That's all chunk loaded. So we did a lot of the same this episode. These guys are all good. They're not wasting away. Wasting. Now I could time in a bottle in, but I'll be honest, if I time in a bottle anything, I don't have that much time in my bottle. I would probably use it on one that I know is going to work. You know what I mean? So we'll just leave this guy. We'll check in on him in the next episode, see see if it works. See how that's sort of going. But I've done a lot of talking this episode. I don't think we had any cuts except for early on. So I am knackered, as they say. I'm excited about what we're seeing here. We need antimatter pellets. That's disappointing, especially because if I let 3 of them go into the system, it's going to invest them into a Nexium emitter. A little bit sad. But that's okay. That's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. You know what I mean? It'll be okay. In here, we have 441. The sad part about that is that's not because we already have a antimatter pellet. It's just that's how much we've got. It's so slow. I'll be honest. I feel like they nerfed it because I swear it was better than this. Something was. Because I swear we had so much once we actually got it running. And yet here we are, living in antimatter poverty. These guys are the play, though. They definitely are. I think we do it, just double down on the bees. I thought it was good to try it out and test it. And possibly it is, because now we've got at least some more generation, some consistent generation for antimatter, at the very least. And then we can slowly build up our fleet of bees. Now, I do want to hear from you guys in terms of... No, it doesn't even work. No, it doesn't work. I was going to say in terms of, like, the antimatter pellets. Let me know if you have any workaround. Like, will they treat an entangled block as if it's a feeding slab in front of them? You know what I mean? Like, anything weird like that you can think of that might work. And we'll think about it. And possibly try it out. Because I'm like, oh, I'll just make 1 billion bees. But, like, they're useless unless you've got Omega upgrades. And if you've got Omega upgrades, they need the antimatter. And that's rough. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. Hopefully you're having fun. This episode probably wasn't too much crazier than the last episode. I guess we got a big storage cell. That's a decent title. I don't know. But there's going to be a bit of that coming up. But I don't know. As long as we're all having fun, that's the main thing. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you guys spend time with those around you and have some positive memories. I'm good. I know it's a weird thing to say, but I'm good. I just wanted to I don't know, leave you guys with some healthy advice. I feel like I made it weird. Oh, and anyhow, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, of course, to our donators and our channel members. Thank you guys. Thank you to... Big shout out to JP, our server manager. He runs all the server stuff, pretty much. We've obviously got Polly, who's he's done a lot in terms of making sure the servers don't fall apart, in terms of like making recipes work and making certain recipes not work, that sort of stuff, which has been very nice. But yeah, JP's been doing a lot. He really has. So big shout out to him, of course. He knows that, but just so that you guys know that he's doing a lot. Let me tell you. Where are we? Oh yeah, I'm gonna check channel members because I think we're out of date a little bit. I'll just see if there's any recent ones that I've missed. Things are popping up. Welcome back to Ghost King 420. Rejoined 2 days ago, and Shifty Beast 911. I possibly miss you. It says a month ago. But you know me, it's been a little while, so I do apologize. Yeah, cool. Also, once again, because I feel the need to say it, I know that currently we're looking at a bit of a mess here. I think this mess is to do with my settings. I think the like missing chunks, I can solve that if I just figure out the right settings. But the Distant Horizons mod, like, I have a render distance of 4. I have a render distance of 4. How cool. Like, yeah, sure. Leave a hole in my world. I don't care because I can see so much more. I wouldn't even be able to see the hole in the ground. Are you kidding me? This game's awesome, man. Man. Like, here's the thing, right? Outside of stability and frame rate at this point, and even frame rate, it's not so much of even a problem, but just compatibility and stuff, even compatibility, like everything's working, you know what I mean? This is just like a couple bugs that need to be fixed and need to be streamlined so that the average man can figure out what the hell they're doing to make it work, like with the default settings. But like, what more do we want? I always said right from the start, I was a massive advocate for shaders. I love me some shaders. I was like, they're the future. They're definitely the future. Then when like sodium and iris came along, that was incredible. That was like, oh my god, it's doable. We're going to see shaders be the norm. And then not only the norm, but the norm with mods. Not only the norm with mods, the norm with the biggest mod pack. All the mods. Like the biggest, pretty much in both terms. In terms of popularity and in terms of just the vast range of mods. I mean, look at all the stuff that we need to make this star. And then the other thing was Distant Horizons. I'm like, I don't know if it will be the Distant Horizons mod, but one of these LOD mods is going to be the future. And it has, actually, I do know what's next. I do know what's next, and you guys are going to hate me. But yeah, so we've got shaders, we've got Distant Horizons, we've got Distant Horizons with shaders. Once again, still, there's little tweaks need to be made, but like, it's bloody, it's amazing. It's so much better than nothing, right? All that is left, in my humblest opinion, and then I'll sign a deal that I'll shut up. I'll stop making requests after this. It's immersive portals, and let me just say, I don't know if it's still in the pack. There was a mod called there was not a mod. There was a server-side mod for immersive portals, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. But immersive portals, that I would be complete if immersive portals, shaders, Distant Horizons all worked together for starters, and ran well. Because can you imagine? Now listen. I know what I'm about to say is going to sound like just dumb because it's like, okay, that's never going to happen. But like this never would have happened. You know what I mean? Being able to see, like, it's, once again, you've seen it before. It works even better than what I'm showing off. But I'm also on a server, right? If I was in single player, all of these chunks would load a lot better, which is tempting me to give it a shot. But anyhow, can you imagine in the future, like a giant portal and like it loads the Distant Horizons like through the portal? You know what I mean? Like it, oh, how cool. Oh. Anyhow, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Hopefully you enjoyed the series. Thank you, of course, to our tier 3 channel members. Thank you, Melizzy, and thank you, Final Phoenix 13, and obviously thank you to everyone else. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.